Hey YouTube, Mickey. Alright, I just want to do a video. I want to share something with you. Excuse me, cheers, happy Easter everyone. Alright, so myself and my family went to a place called Coolendal in New South Wales for just an overnighter. Generally we do camp out for 3 nights or 3 days, 4 days. But unfortunately my wife had some plans tonight, so we couldn't do that. But not to upset our kids and their cousins, we took the effort to drive that 3.5 hours to the campsite and just spend an overnighter so the cousins could get together and muck around this and that. So that's that. But what I want to show you tonight is, I guess, the main tools I brought with me. It was just an overnighter, but each tool did get a workout on that trip, and I have filmage of it which is on my camera, and I've yet to I just got back a few hours ago, so I've yet to edit the videos and pick what scenes are going to be on the video and whatnot. So, but I just want to share with you some of the key items, or the key tools / one item at the end that is imperative, I guess, for any camp trip, especially with kids. But touching on the tools, now each of these tools did get a good workout. Unfortunately, I didn't get to use the CZECHMATE T1. Generally, when I'm camping and hunting in areas where there's not a lot of people, this is always on my side. Now, unfortunately, with Australia or New South Wales, in a public campground where people have paid money to camp out and there's hundreds of people there, you can't walk around with a fixed blade knife. It's just illegal, and people feel uncomfortable and you just can't do it. So that wasn't with me. What was with me though in my pocket was my Measuring folding Italian knife, 440 stainless steel. This thing came in so handy. The whole trip, which was I guess 30 hours, whatever, nothing really, but this thing came in so handy just to simply cut steak, cut rope. My kids were putting marshmallows on a stick, so I debarked the stick to get their marshmallow on the stick cleanly and I guess some sort of hygienically clean to put on the stick. So this knife came in so in handy, and I've never really carried it before with me on many trips because it is so heavy and I always rely on my fixed blade. But after this week, or this overnighter, these things come with me everywhere. I don't care how heavy it is. It is a chunky piece of folding knife. It is great quality stainless steel, 440, sharp as. This is my sharpest folding knife out of all my collection, even sharper than the Opinel. And I can admit that it's even sharper than my Opinel. I could literally shave my face with this, and one day I may do a video on that. So this is definitely going to be with me everywhere I go in the bush. I'm not going to carry this when I'm at work and this and that. It will just weigh my work pants down too much. But in the bush, this is always going to be on me, either in my pocket or in its pouch. Okay, so that's the first tool. Great knife. I loved it. I love giving it a workout, and it is still razor sharp from what I've done with it. The second tool that came out probably the most was the Leatherman Sidekick, mainly just because it clips onto your belt. I can wear this in shops, I can wear this wherever I go, at a campsite or whatever, when there's hundreds of people, and no one will look at you funny. This can be riding on the side of my belt just with the belt clip, and no one will look at you funny at all. So what did I do with it? Well, simply cutting packages of food, to cook it, to whittling sticks, to cutting rope, to cutting first aid gear open. The list goes on. It was always with me. Secondly, the pliers always come into play. Picking up hot pots and pans, What else is it for? You know, helping me with my fishing gear. Just a multitude. I mean, even flipping bacon. We didn't have a spare pair of tongs, and two of us was cooking bacon, so I just grabbed the pliers and flip the bacon over. Great tool, love it. This is with me every single day. Work, play, camping, bush, whatever, it's with me. So it's always coming with me. So that in a bush situation is coming with me. That in everyday situation is always with me, and it's coming out with me in bush. And the clip is great. It won't come off your pants. So that's the first two tools that I use the most. The second tool that I haven't used a lot, only around my garden, was the buck saw. And I've got to be honest, this thing is a beast. I've never used a Baco Laplander or one of those saws, and I know they are longer, but this thing managed to cut through 3-inch pieces of timber with ease. It cut through thicker timber. Yeah, it took me a bit of an effort, but it cut through cleanly. And I'll show that in the video the next couple of days when I can be bothered editing the stuff on my video on my computer. But great piece of kit, light as. Again, I couldn't carry it on my side. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but it just wasn't needed for this trip. But it was in my bag. It was readily available. So, great piece of kit. Highly recommend a saw for you guys that don't like saws or love saws, whatever. But I'm rocking with the buck because that's what I got, and it seems to be a nice tough tool. Good enough for what I need. The next tool obviously was the tomahawk. Now, admittedly, it's best for thinner pieces of wood to chop through, you know, maybe yay thick, maybe that thick. I was chopping a piece of wood that was that thick, you know, a bit of long timber. It did take me a great effort to get through it, but I finally got through it, but I was puffed out, and you'll see that in the video when I post in a few days. Now I'm dealing with very, very hard Australian timber, just bear that in mind. The wood I was cutting through was extremely hard and tough, so, you know, yes, if I brought a big 19-inch or, you know, larger, big head of an axe, it would have got through there quicker. Yeah, no worries, but it's heavier to carry. This is light, you know, it's still in my pack. You know, it just didn't take any room up in the back seat in the back boot of the car, because the car was packed out. Even though it was an overnight, it was just packed out. But a great tool, you know. I definitely use this pipe part. It's called the pipe hawk. So you definitely use this to hammer my stakes in, to put my tent in. So this got a good workout too. So yes, it's come with me all the time when I go out bush, or civilian camping. I'll call it civilian camping, where there's hundreds of people there, and you don't want to freak people out. And yes, I did actually for the first time throw this against a tree, and it worked great. You know, I got my technique right, I got the distance from the tree right, and without fail, every single throw I did, you know, 10 throws, it was hitting the target. I can't remember if I was filming it. I hope I did, but I'll go through the camera. But believe me, a great throwing axe. So this is definitely coming with me every trip. Cheers. Okay, the next tool is the Ontario RD7 Bush. Now, great tool, and I beat the living shit out of this thing on the overnight. I beat the crap out of it. I batoned with it with Australian red hardwood. I mean, this wood was so friggin' hard. It would have been, you know, that thick, strong, hard, just very tough wood. And yes, it did take me a bit of an effort to get through it. And again, when I upload the video, you'll see it. But, you know, I batoned with it, and, you know, the thing was going like this, and I had to keep batoning it down there and getting it straight. And it did take me a good effort. The blade was bending, as this steel does, but when I got through it, ching, it just straightened up and it chopped through the wood. You know, it was a bit of an effort, I admit, but it did the task. And this thing is still paper shaving sharp. It's probably not hair shaving sharp, but it's paper shaving sharp. and I've been testing this thing out for the past week before I went on this trip, and I've beat the living shit out of this thing, and it's still paper shaving sharp. So I'm loving this knife, and it's great. Again, I couldn't wear it on my person. It was in my scout bag, which brings me to another story. How long have I been filming? God damn, 10 minutes already. I'll make it quick, guys. But great knife, great tool, and this is definitely coming with me every trip I go. Every trip. So look, just quickly, these are the key tools that I brought with me and that I'll continue to bring with me. The RD7, the tomahawk, the saw, and then on my person in a private kind of bush, no one's there retreat, that's on my person. If it's populated, that's in my bag. But the Leatherman Sidekick is definitely on my person, and this Mezerin folding knife is definitely going to be my person. And you know, finally, this will be my person if there's not a lot of people around. So they're the tools I brought, and they work great. And I can confidently tell you that all these tools would probably get me by for a very long time. Now, the one item that was the most important that I didn't have, I do have little parts of it, but not the major part, is this burn kit. Okay? Now, I've got burn aid little sachets, you know, little ones where you get burnt, you put it on and this and that, and it's a minor burn. Well, unfortunately, my daughter, the last 15 minutes of us being there, somehow stepped on the campfire. Now, it wasn't a fire, a roaring fire, but it was a bed of coals. The coals were out for about 4 or 5 hours from the morning, but it was still hot enough for her to get second-degree burns on her bottom of her foot. The whole bottom of her foot had blisters everywhere, second-degree burns, minor second-degree burns. And she let out this cry that just made me shake my boots. And I ran over to her, my wife ran over to her, and everyone ran over to her. And it was just so fucked up, to be honest, that I had the shits myself, to be honest. And I had burn aid cream, you know, I've got all the medical kit, but I didn't have a kit like this. And I'm not sure if you guys know about it, because I've never even heard about it. But what it is, it's a big, massive, rectangle square sob, basically, of gel, like a bandage. And, you know, it's literally, you know, that big. And we didn't have it. Luckily, a nice, kind lady from another campsite heard the scream, ran over, and for some reason she had this in her hand, and gave it to us, and then she ran away. And we grabbed a bucket with water, put her foot straight in the bucket of water to cool it down. My daughter did calm down within a matter of minutes, but then as soon as we took that foot out after 10 minutes, she started going nuts. And we put this on her foot, and we gently placed it on the bottom of her foot, and then gently strapped some bandage around it to keep it there. And yeah, she was crying hysterically for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, shaking from the shock, because it was a pretty bad burn. We jumped in the car to go home. You know, we were thinking about going to a medical centre because she still was freaking out. But then we gave her Nurofen also, painkiller. But then obviously this and the Nurofen kicked in, and about an hour into the trip, she fell asleep, and she woke up and she was fine. And for some reason this thing's got some shit in it that soothes it. We took her home, and we gave her a bath, and, you know, not in cold water, but kept her foot out of the bath and washed it off, and put one more of these swabs on there, and she's sound asleep right now. It's 8 o'clock at night, so she's sound asleep, and all good. But I'm definitely going to stock these things. Burn aid, burn kit. I'm going to get at least 30 of these things. They're about $7 each, but they're friggin' worth it, man. I mean, I don't want to see my daughter or any kid, or myself, my wife, or anyone go through that pain ever again. So, great kit. Sorry I've been filming so long, man, but it's been a long day, long drive, and this thing just saved my life and my daughter's, not literally their life, but just saved you that pain and anguish of seeing your kid crying their head off in so much pain. I mean, I've been burnt before, and it ain't a good fucking feeling, man. It's not a good fucking feeling. It throbs, it hurts, it burns. You know, us adults, our feet, you know, they're pretty tough. We've been walking the walk for a long time barefoot. You know, if you're so inclined, I walk around barefoot all the time. Not like Coolendal Dean, but I walk barefoot. But you know, a little 9-year-old or 8-year-old kid, their feet are so tender, and it just fucking broke my heart, man. But this is the shit, man. This is the shit. Made in America. This is the shit. Get this shit, man. Alright, I'm gonna end the video right now. They're my tools. This is the shit. I recommend everyone get this motherfucker. Sorry I'm swearing, but man, it's the cooter, man. It's the stuff to get. So cheers from Mick. I look forward to posting my video of this overnighter. I've got some wildlife on there. I've got some fishing. We didn't catch fish, but I'm still trying to fish. Just got some stuff, man. Got the kids. We're playing volleyball. We're playing this tennis game. I don't know what it's called. We're just having fun. So I hope you enjoy that video when I post it, hopefully tomorrow or next day. And stay tuned for me and Emmanuel Mackler on our weekend trip coming up in 1 week's time. And all these tools will be coming out in our trip. And yeah, I'll show you some great video. So, cheers.